right, hey guys, patch 5.10 notes here. It's the patch that Echo's coming out and actually came out already. Last game that I played last night, there was an Echo in it. So he's out now. Couple other changes here. Akali, her Shadow Dance used to, well, not used to, they recently changed it so that it would pass through the target. Um, and they made it pretty obnoxiously far where I would be turret diving someone, and then I would pass through to the other side of their turret, and then I would just die in the middle of nowhere, and I couldn't get back to my target. So it was supposed to be a quality of life buff, which ended up just being hell. The minimum pass-through distance is now lower. The maximum pass-through distance is now lower, and now gives 50% less pass-through versus targets with Mark of the Assassin. So if you're chasing, it actually kind of makes sense. If you're chasing and they don't have a Mark of the Assassin, you're not trying to get that auto off after, you'll go further away from them, so you'll be able to put that mark and then auto them in the same distance ish. And if they already have the mark, it doesn't put you through as far because you just have to put an auto on them. So it kind of makes sense to do that, but it's just nice that you're not going to be like Shadow dancing onto their spawn pad from like mid lane anymore. Cassio got a pretty big nerf. Her AP ratio went down by 0.04. That hurts because that's on hit. It's not reduced by anything. That's just on hit when she casts it. But the big thing is her if Twin Fin kills the target, refunds the mana cost plus 3% of her max mana is now 1.5. So they cut that in half. I played Cassio after they changed that, and I definitely did feel that. But I still think she's really strong because you're not getting like 100 kills in a team fight. Um, you're not like last hitting minions in a team fight in an average team fight. You're just kind of there with the mana pool you have, but it does hurt her laning phase. Gragas moving and end collision on his body slam got nerfed because it was kind of annoying and ridiculous. Jinx lost a ton of minigun attack speed, so she can't just get it for free. She actually has to level up. She can't just be level 9 and have that 130% attack speed. So it's kind of nice. I think she gets more attack speed, like barely, but a little bit more at level 18 now with the new change. Changed a bunch of stuff on Karma. They made her mantra actually scale with level, so it goes off cooldown faster as the game goes on, but with both autos and spell hits. Her W can now target monsters in additions to champions. That's monsters, not minions. So you're not going to be able to heal off minions in lane with a focused W, but you can walk out of lane and go to a monster and heal real quick, kind of like Vlad does when he gets low. Using renewal now increases the duration of the root by up to a second and a quarter, or half a second at lower level, but there's no longer any bonus damage on it. Her E now scales and cooldown, lower mana, a little bit lower shield to go with that, and then the boosted one, it actually doesn't do damage to enemies anymore, but the shield's bigger on the primary target, and the actual area of effect shield scales with the primary targets. So she has a little bit more utility. It seems like a little less damage, but a lot more utility. So I don't know how that'll hurt her solo laning. Kind of pushes her more to support, even though they're saying they're not trying to do that. That's what it feels like to me. Zenith Blade missile width kind of went down by 20. When you see like a Leona shoot a E sideways, and it would still connect, and it would just change like direction in the air because it was such a big hitbox. Lulu's base mana regen for support Lulu, up by 2.5, mana growth stat down, so when you're leveling fast as solo Lulu, not going to affect you as much. It's kind of just a straight buff to support Lulu, which is nice. When I've played support Lulu, I all the time. Rek'Sai 40-ish health off base. Makes sense. Rek'Sai's stupid strong. I didn't even realize that she had over 600 health. A little bit more buffs on Rise. The Arcane Mastery passive is now 6 seconds at all ranks. So they changed the R. It no longer buffs his passive because it's already at 6 seconds. And the Q does a little more damage every level. 5 per level, going up to 20. Not at level 1 though. That really doesn't matter for me because I can't hit that ability because it's a skill shot now. So it still does 0 for me. Flail of the Northern Winds. Apparently this actually hasn't made it into the patch. They have to hotfix it, but the tooltip has changed. The actual damage hasn't. It's going to be 6% of the target's max health rather than 10 at max level, so pretty big nerf there. I think she'll still be very strong. Sion's ultimate was scaling with his opponent's attack damage, so you could just do massive damage to like 80 carries and whatnot. That's kind of funny. And Tarek's Q, no one plays Tarek, so no one really noticed this, but it was 140 mana at level 5. Now it's 100, so it's gone down a little bit per level. They buffed all of the ancient coin line, so you actually get more gold from it. You get more mana regen. You get more health for nearby minion death. It's a lot more effective as a sustain item for both health and mana. And you get more money. And the activation cooldown was reduced by 20 seconds, so now it's on a 40-second activation cooldown, which is really big. The thing about Talismans of Ascension, it's not like a Righteous Glory that you have to be running at someone. It just lets you get somewhere quickly, whether you're running away, running to somewhere, whether you have vision on enemies or not. So it's actually pretty useful. I actually liked it before they buffed it, but everyone called me bad for building it, so I stopped. Ardent Sensor, attack speed buff now grants 30 magic damage on hit. Your heals and shields on another unit grant them only 15, down from 25 attack speed, but you get that 30 extra damage. Magic damage proc shows the critical hits for the champion who buffed it, so that's pretty cool. It doesn't buff minions anymore, so Alistar can't just like make a super wave of minions. But it might have uses in like AoE heals and AoE shields, but other than that, I still think there's just better choices, like Righteous Glory, for example. But we'll see. Like that kind of seems like a situational buff, whereas other things just work in any situation and any champion, whether you have heals or not. Bilgewater and Blade of the Ruined King active cast wasn't matching its actual visual distance, so now it's up by 100. That's cool. It'll help me. I build that item like every second game. Banner of Command, I built that yesterday. It was awesome. Made some super duper minions. Its cast range is now higher, which is just like a quality of life thing. That's not the game-breakingly huge, but it's not going to be like, oh, I got to build Banner because it's got 200 more range. But that's pretty good. Bunch of utility tree changes. One big one to watch out for is the Expanded Mind no longer, the Meditation here no longer grants 3 mana per 5. It restores a percentage of your missing mana every 5 seconds. So when you don't have that much mana, that's not as good early, and it might catch you off guard early on in the game. Expanded Mind's pretty good now, because instead of getting 5% of your max mana, you actually just gain 75 mana at level 1. If you get that. 5% of your max mana early on in the game is pretty sad, especially if you're not building mana items, but 75% or 75 just flat mana early is enough for an extra spell or two in lane for dueling, which is really helpful in all-ins. Inspiration grants double the experience that it did. Bandit now grants 8 gold each time an enemy champion is attacked rather than for kills, because if you're not getting kills and assists, you're not getting any gold off that. Intelligence reduces the cooldown of activated items by up to 20%, which is huge for supports who have a ton of activated, or any champions that are planning on building activated items. That might be pretty good. And Wanderer now grants flat movement speed instead of percentage movement speed. So that really depends. I mean, supports were obviously building mobility boots a lot, which just give you a lot of flat movement speed, so the percentage actually helped you. But I think the 20 flat movement speed is just a lot better in most situations, at least early. And if you're building other percentage movement speed items, the flat movement speed will work a lot better for you. Super Minions lost 10 magic resistance. Monster leashing has changed a little bit, where it can reset more between 2 people, but less between yourself is what I got out of that, I think. I don't know. It's kind of confusing. Added more critters for Summoner's Rift. Super. Ranked inactive notifications will warn you more often. Hexakill's coming out to 3v3, some more cluster action. And then a couple skins down here. That Nightmare Trinamir skin looks pretty cool. So does the Aurelia one, but I still like the Frost one. Skin's still the best. Anyway, rather short patch notes. So thanks for watching, guys. If you were enjoying it, make sure to check out the stream. If you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more stuff like this or the other videos on here. And I'll see you next time.